Oi legends, welcome to Hard and Fast Exposed, where the riffs are loud, the bourbon's neat, and the ideas are strictly original. What you're about to witness was brewed right here in Seaford. No filters, no fluff, just pure creative combustion from the heart of Adelaide's underground. This show and all its original content belong to Hard and Fast Exposed. The bands we feature bring their own fire, raw, real, and straight from the local scene. If you're thinking of nicking any of this, ours or theirs, don't. We've got copyright muscle and zero patience for creative theft. We champion originality. We guard it. And yeah, we'll go full courtroom mosh pit if someone tries to bootleg what ain't theirs. And to those tossing moral labels and calling passion degeneracy, yeah, we hear ya. You might have opinions, mate, but they don't echo here. It's a loud haven for misfits, makers, and noise bringers. That rattles your cage. Maybe that says more about you than it does about us.
Thank you.
Welcome. Go, matey.
One's called Strange. Well, you've seen it all before. Shut down, take on no more. And with that legal system it changed. Your life will change some more. Yeah, yeah. Well, I was born in red and shows to become someone, yes I know. And with that legal system it changed. Our life will change some more, my friend. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause I find it hard to change. Yeah. No, I think I find my way. And I was raised to stop this style. Shut down, sit off for a while. And as I tried again, yeah. It's not hard to try and change. Oh no, no. 'Cause I find it hard to change. Yeah. No, I think I lost my way. 'Cause I find it hard to change. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause I think I lost my way. I find it hard to change. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause I think I lost my way. think I lost my way. Change, 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 change,
Oh, this is a little ditty. It's actually about truck drivers driving along the road late at night. There's a little white line down the middle. What else are they going to do? So you think you know me? Suppose you tell me why you think you know who I am. What's the matter with my reason? Do you think it's clear? Rockstar, MC, but that's the wild. A few times in a week. Every time, company love, you know it badly. Never sleep. Alright. Hey. So if you know and you really think you can guess just who I am. What's the matter with my reason? Do you think it's clear? I'll be running, you have to see that there's nowhere I can hide. And if you follow, you must allow that you short the feelings why. I wanna go, wanna live with you. Wanna live with you. Wanna live with you on top of love. Hey! Come better be the egg of time. Hey! 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 Lots of people see me and they're going around. They're never gonna pull me down. Lots of people say, come on and pray. I'd like to see you down, down, down. Lots of people talking, lots of people saying, no need to know what's going on. Lots of people say, come on and pray. I'd like to see you down, down, down. Alright. Hey! If you know and you really think you can guess just who I am. What's the matter with the reason? Do you think it's clear? I'll keep running, you have to see that there's nowhere I can hide. And if you follow, you must allow that you're short to views wine. I wanna go. Hey!
And welcome back, everybody. Here we are with Darren and Wally from the Bearded Clams.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go! The Bearded Clam. The Bearded Clam.
So we're going to get started with, obviously, a bit of a history of the band. Where did you boys come from, and what inspired you to keep going? Because you've been here for bloody, what, 30 odd years?
87.
87.
87 we started.
This is before my time.
Yeah, look, we used to go out and watch, in Adelaide there used to be backyard barbecues, and there'd always be bands playing that just started. It was all very do-it-yourself, and it just inspired us. Like, well, if they can do it, so can we, you know.
100%.
So Ron, the original guitarist, picked up a guitar. It was just me and him living together. He started strumming away, and I'm not saying I had a knack for it, but just threw some words together.
Yep.
And it sort of evolved from there. Had another guy, Cookie, in drums, lasted a couple of months. Then we got our original drummer, the second drummer, Beads, who said, I'm going to go and buy a drum kit.
Yep.
He did. And we went from there. We got another guy called Lefty. So the genesis of the band was pretty much Beads, Lefty, myself, and Ron Grant. We only did demo tapes. Before that all morphed into Wally, we had on drums, got onto drums. Brett Hamill on bass. Myself and Ron Grant.
Yep.
And that's when we recorded our first album.
Perfect.
CD it was at the time.
Perfect.
Another story on that. It was right on the cusp of CDs and vinyl. In hindsight.
Yep.
But we went, oh yeah, we got to do the new medium of CDs. Yeah, got to be cool, man. And to this day, I kick myself that we didn't do our first album on vinyl.
Final, yeah, 100%, 100%.
Bitchin'.
So, like I was saying earlier, the way I stumbled across you guys was obviously from my brother.
Yeah.
And it was recorded on cassette.
Yes.
And then, like I said earlier as well, was you inspired me and my best mate Buzzy. We used to jam all your music, you know, along with the Popes and all that sort of stuff, but mainly you guys from the Clams. And literally one day, while we're jamming in the garage, like I said, Lefty just walked in, and I was like, who the bloody hell are you?
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, well, I wrote that song.
Yeah.
You know, it was just, you know.
Listen to the tape.
Yeah, so.
Well, our first tape was called Clam Jam,
Clam Jam, yeah, that's the one.
and our second tape was called A Tribute to Mike Hunt.
Well,
Michael
there you go.
Hunter,
Huh?
Mike Hunt.
Aren't they a pair of pork hunts? Eh? And what about you, Ollie? I remember when you sort of entered the scene. The first time I met you was out of three poles with your bloody 1980s coloured fucking fluoro shit.
Yeah.
CNC board.
What was it?
Eh?
Cut Loose, was it?
Yeah.
No, yeah, had a bloody
It could've been,
a town and country it was
that
then.
long ago.
Town and country.
Memories, man. But yeah, I actually grew up in Morpeth Vale there, and was in that, like, you know, heavier music stuff, and but I'd started drumming at the age of 10 and that, and my mum, the connection is my mum was a teacher at Seaford Primary School, where most
there
of
you
the
go.
mid crew
Yep.
actually went to.
That was a school that I went to as well.
Yeah.
His mum was my teacher.
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
there was a teacher there who actually asked mum if I'd like a surfboard. It was a power plug single fin,
Yeah.
and I was just
Power
like,
plug,
yeah,
mate. Oh, I know.
bring it on. So, you know, not living on the mid, but, you know, living up Morpeth Vale
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Mum introduced me to the beach and that, you know, and
And dragged you on.
started surfing, and, you know, and things just led that way, kind of thing. We ended up moving to Moana back in 1987, 88, kind of thing. I'd actually picked up surfing, you know, by that time and that, and, you know, as the years progressed and that, and I actually running the new boys, like, at the Porties Hotel, like, one night, and, you know, they're just going like, oh, we seen you out, like Barbara and all the boys, and we're just like, you know, oh, we seen you out surfing, man, you been kicking ass and all that, you know, oh, cheers, my man.
Yeah.
And yeah, and course you were there,
Yeah.
and I knew who you guys were because I'd seen a couple of shows at the footy club and that, and just going, this is unreal.
It was
man.
a couple of years before.
Yeah,
before
yeah,
you joined,
absolutely.
Yeah,
And yeah, I had a yarn with you and that and the boys, and you guys actually invited me back to the crib, and we sucked another 6-pack each, and you know, I walked home to Moana and that, and yeah, I was just like, whoa, you know.
Exactly.
I'm getting to know the mid coast crew kind of thing and that.
Party.
Which is
Yeah.
exactly the way I found you guys. Was I didn't even know that you weren't a part of the original lineup.
No, not
But
at
I
all.
loved how tight your drumming was, and Mr. Serious. Right.
You know, it was actually B, so like I saw him drumming like first time. I thought, man, how quick is that dude going?
His
like,
drum rolls are brrr.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. He not class, but his drum rolls were inspired by Phil Rady Gig, who was one of the original drummers for Where's the Pope.
Yep.
Oh, there you
He
go.
had a lot of the
Yeah.
full-on
Well, there you
drum
go.
roll,
Yeah.
snare rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's footage of you at one of the Port Lunga Footy Club gigs,
In the mosh.
moshing around,
Yeah.
which must have been 89-ish.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you joined in
So,
89.
yeah. I went to a few gigs, you know, and I seen what was going on. I thought, man, that's awesome shit. It's like a new genre of music to me, you know, coming from a metal background kind of thing, Iron Maiden and all that good shit. And further down the track, you know, like I got the call up from you because I was working at a place called Southern Sound Studios.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
where we jammed all the
SSS.
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you guys hadn't actually rolled up there yet, but yeah, and received a phone call from you, just going, oh, I'm looking for Wally, and I was like, you know, yeah, man, that's me, man.
Yeah.
You know, oh, Clams are looking for a new drummer, kind of thing. You know, just wondering if you're keen. I was like, oh, I'm kind of busy at the moment with my cover bands and stuff, and I only said no because I was just like, no, man, I can't do that shit. You know, because you know.
In fear of,
They-
you know, sort
absolutely,
of being playing with your idols, like I was, literally saying
But
before.
I remember like 20 minutes later, I was sitting in the office just going,
Yeah, I
what
can't
the
say that.
fuck am I doing, man? I'm just missing out on an opportunity. And you left me your number, and I rang you back. I said, oh, Keys, yeah, no, I'm keen now. And it just went from there. Yeah,
And
that's my little bit of-
that was pick up the phone and dial the numbers. Oh, hello, you still there?
Yeah.
Pre-mobile.
Oh, Wally here, you know, he's been my inspiration, and what inspired him was literally the band that sort of inspired me to get into music. Doesn't matter how big or small, when you started or not, whether you make a noise or not, it doesn't matter how big you are, you can inspire someone. And obviously my story, like I said, ended up playing with your idols. So here we are, have it.
And we've ended up playing in bands.
Exactly, you know, so we've all shared the stages together and thinking that we couldn't get there.
Yeah. Do it yourself.
And that's what 100% involves in being in the underground music, is forming these relationships, being a follower, and, you know, sort of, you could end up anywhere.
Having friends pick up a guitar and
That's it.
I'll have a sing, you know. I'll jump around like an idiot on stage.
Yep.
Oh, that's entertaining now, you know.
100%.
That's how it worked with us. It's,
And the best thing about the Bearded Clams and a lot of other bands is there's never one, quite often there's never one from start to finish on a solid lineup.
yeah, look, just because someone leaves a band doesn't mean you have to stop.
That's right.
What you progress to may make it better.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think every time that we moved on, I mean, we've been stable now since we recorded. Me, Wally, and the bass player
Yep.
have been together since 92 or 93 when we put out our first CD.
Yeah.
You know, we've had other guitarists come in.
And boy, have you had some rippers come through.
Yeah, some ribbons. And the last lineup's been stable for now with Scotty Maxwell. He's been in for 15, 20 years.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, so
That's right. Then you got the likes of old Paddy Ram and Brooksy
Paddy
even
Ram
getting
now.
involved now. You know.
Another guitarist, Brooksy. So we were always a bass, drums, guitar, vocals.
100%. Yeah.
And about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, just tried it with another guitarist.
Yep.
And it just filled it up. It gave because Scott is a prolific metal guitarist, lead extraordinaire.
Yep.
And it gave him the space to add accents with the rhythm behind it.
Yeah, 100%.
And
yeah.
so we've stuck with that now ever since.
And while we're talking about Scotty, while we're here,
Yeah.
no, kudos to Pat and Brooksy that we'll speak about later. But
Tip of hat.
Scott Maxwell, what a hell of an achievement he's had, and what an absolute achievement to be a part of your band.
Yeah.
You know, Aria awarded, I think, when was he? Back in
awarded.
2018, I'm pretty sure it was
Aria
Music
award-winning.
Teacher of the Year. What an
Yes,
absolute
yes.
feat.
Hats off
We'll
to
cross over to him for a chat soon. We'll get him on a video call to commend him for his efforts. And
one of the very few Adelaide people, soloists, that have an ARIA award.
yeah,
And that's massive. And there's not many true Adelaide bands that have ARIA awards.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, that's pretty big. And hats off to him, man. That's fantastic.
That's just that's the 100%.
That's the pinnacle of Australian music.
And that's
awards.
literally
Awards.
being a band of you guys, of how long you've been here. It's just live, breathe, everything music.
Yeah. And he teaches. He was in school teaching, and that's how it come about. They did musicals at this Mount Gambier school. I'm not sure what the name of the school was, but it was down at Mount Gambier. And he made such an impact. It got him a friggin' ARIA award.
Yeah, 100%. And the very first time I met that guy,
That was for his teaching prowess.
That's right.
the very first time I met Scotty in the car park at South Adelaide Football Club, properly, and he absolutely cracked us up back when he had a V8 Commodore or something like
Oh,
that.
he's a ribbon.
Me and my mate
Yeah.
Buzzy were in there, and it was out towards the end of the night properly, and everyone's pissed and carrying on and having a bit of fun. And the first thing that he said in his sweet little voice, sorry Scotty, this looks like fun, I might have to do it. And he just ripped that car park to absolute bits and sideways straight out the gates, and off he went. And,
Yeah.
I went, that man's going to be something one day.
I remember him telling stories when he first learned guitar. This is amazing. And he went to, and he probably should tell these stories, but he went to lessons.
Yep.
And 2 weeks later, the teacher's going, "Oh yeah, that's pretty good." 4 weeks later, and he's just noodling the shit out of stuff. And the teacher went, "I can't teach you nothing.
Yeah, because you're already there.
You're on your way, mate.
Yeah.
See you later. See you later."
Yeah, well, having him enter, I did notice a massive, obviously being a follower, but even though I'm quite younger in the generation and whatnot, just the massive step up from, like a three-piece band would always sort of have that sound compared to, the dynamics that he actually changed your sound was just...
Mexican Americans are named Chata and Chela and Chema and have a son-in-law named Jeff. Mexican Americans don't like to get up early in the morning, but they have to, so they do it real slow. Mexican Americans
starting rolling, I'm already rolling. So, anyway, I haven't fucking said that. Like I said, you boys have been a massive inspiration. Obviously, because you guys are local and that's my local music scene, but I listen to the likes of, Slayer and Pantera and Metallica and early days of DRI and stuff, all that sort of heavy music on, all the internationals, but still very heavily, obviously, local scene, whatnot. But so, what sort of down, I'm going to ask you, what really got you into music and who inspired you? It's alright, mate. It's alright.
Look, when
Well, apparently here we spill a drink for it.
Oh, I used to check out stuff.
Bloody Coopers. When I was younger,
Oh, God, here we go. The kiss story.
here we go. I got a little dolly, and it was Kiss. Alright. I love the theatrics of it.
Yeah.
So to me, that's what. In later life, I never imagined I'd be in a band. In later life, when I got on stage, I thought, oh, yeah, you know, you got to jump around, you got to act out a bit, you know.
Right.
Maybe that's a bit of my personality, maybe it's not. But you add a little bit of this, and a crowd in front of you, feeding off of that, and you're off. You're gone, man. It's the best feeling. I used to have a saying back in the day. When we were younger, and it was the 3 S's: singing, surfing, and sexing.
Yeah.
Nothing better. Gave me all of that.
Singing, surfing, and sexing. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, what about the one thing that you've never been able to get rid of every single time you go to play a show? And I know this personally because I played with you. Even though you played in front of thousands of people, hundreds of times, many different audiences, what's the little thing that you always seem to get?
Nerves.
100%.
Just can't kick it, man.
Yep.
Pace. Doesn't even think about it, I'm getting nervous.
Yep, and gagging.
Spewing, throwing up. As soon as that first click, and then it's fine.
Yep.
You know, I like to say the best part of the show is the end of the show when you go, yes, that was fantastic. But, you know, on stage, there were shows we used to do, not from not remembering, it was just, you were just in a zone.
Yeah.
And I'd say, get off and say, do we play that song? Do we play that song?
Yeah.
Because it was just a all-encompassing, awesome.
100%. You couldn't have said that any finer than the man that is always the same, Molly. Now you get any sort of nerves, or you just you come across as the most focused person ever.
If I'm in trouble, I look around and he goes,
100%.
he's singing the words to me.
Yeah.
I go,
Mr. Serious Face. Me and Muzzy
Let's
used to
talk.
And you're right.
You are Mr. Focused, always just bang.
Yeah.
Like you seem to be that 100% beekeeper of the whole planet.
Everyone
got
looks
here.
to you.
Well, you know, it's just to keep that timing factor and stuff, and make sure the boys are on board, kind of thing. And did you want to ask where I started off, my inspirations and stuff?
Yeah, we'll get into that as well. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. You know, back in the late 70s and that, you know, you had these tapes, not CDs, records. Ripper 77, Ripper 76 and that, and had all the old songs and stuff. My mum used to pump them and stuff, and, you know, and I was a grommet, I was about 8 years old, I reckon, and yeah, she used to pump it on the stereo at home, and, you know, and just, I asked her to start saving all our ice cream carton containers, you know, the empty old plastic ones.
Yeah,
You know?
the old killer shacks.
Yeah, these are like tubs.
Yeah,
you know?
The Amstel.
Yeah, that's the one. You know?
Awesome.
And yeah, I used to get her to collect them and that, wash it out and everything, and clean out and that, and I set them up on pillows and that, and
Oh yeah, the old buckets.
yeah,
Yeah.
and said, save me some chopsticks too, so, and then I make up an A Brother kit, you know, like, and play along with these tunes, you know, like.
For that, to me, that there sort of explains my questions to you, because I remember when you put that, you started with the Dolphin, you put that massive together that you play on.
That was a bit of an inspiration from Iron Maiden, who was like one of my first heavy metal bands, you know.
But what a hell of a kit and what a hell of a sound. You've improvised, and it wasn't one of these DW kits or a Pearl Sessions Select series.
It was actually the first kit I ever bought for myself when I was working at Mitsubishi, because my parents had bought me this little 4-piece Pearl X4 bluey looking thing. It's gorgeous, and
You still got it?
no, I gave it away, and the dude gave it the cash converters like two or 3 days later. I was spewing with it, and it sold too. And but anyway, but yeah, that was my first kit. A Dolphin. It was $700 worth.
Yeah.
But I saved all that money and I bought it. But I just wanted a mega kit, being inspired by the likes of Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden, because I just loved the racks and all the cymbals and stuff. So, that was my first kit, and it wasn't a polished kit, but I just knew what to do with it. Like,
Use it.
Using skins. Yeah, absolutely. And so that kit is on most of the recordings, except for the last CD we did with Pat, where the man makes the CD.
That's right.
So all them first CDs from that crusty Dolphin kit, which is $700 worth.
So what is which is Dolphin? What's the label? What's that?
It was just a generic crap brand,
It's
and it's $700. So I walked in Southern Sound.
Yeah.
Southern Sound. Was it Southern Music?
Yeah.
And I spoke to the bottle, Jamie actually.
Jamie!
Now look at this booklet and open it up, and I was going, how much is this one? It's on $700, and how many drums are on it? So it was a 7-piece, I think. And I said, I'll buy that one, I was thinking I'd just get the kit, but it actually came in a box, and we had to build it.
Yeah.
And it took me like 2 days to
So you built it up.
absolutely.
So think about that, all you drummers, right? The sound that you've heard come out of these guys that I've played some tracks before, don't have to have the 20 grand kit or whatever it fucking costs, mate. $700 came out, it sounded like it was 20 grand because he knew the sound that he was chasing for. And, you don't have to have all the best gear to produce some of the best sounds on the planet. And Wally right there is a classic example where I was saying that I started on playing on literally buckets of bloody ice cream, and he turned a bucket of ice cream into an absolute sounding fucking career. And it was, man. It used to, the way you used to tune everything, right, was just that you used to cut through everything, man. It was just, you done brilliantly, and you knew.
We're still fishing for that Zildjian sponsor.
If you think about that, he needs a couple of new Chinas. Kudos, like, well done, man. This is 100% what the underground's about. Is a lot of us, really don't have money.
You have to make it sound.
And that's it. And it's all about just make the best of what you got, because only 1% of us ever get found. And then, even then, once you've got all the technicians and all the best of the gear, you find you're not happy with the best of the gear, because you've lost that sound that created you.
That made you get to that sound.
That's right. So, kudos to you, boys. This next segment is sort of my alter ego, and that's what we get into. Is we've got our little mate over here. His name is Little Howie. he's going to sort of dig up and ask a few little questions about everyone. Everyone say hello. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, there he is. He is. Hello, Ellie. Hello. So the next session. Next segment's about all the fun on tours and stuff like that, and you know, some of the sort of things that really go on about being a band, but you know, we sort of don't want to escape every story.
Some things you can.
So, welcome to Hanging with Howie.
Howie!
Hanging with Howie!
OMG. He's a monster.
I'm not sure. I'm actually fucking mid-strength fucking what? What do they call it? On average.
What are you saying on a monster?
You mid-strength.
No, you talk. I'm of average.
It says he's drinking capsules.
I've got fucking dudes that are shorter than me at work. You fucking little midget. You wanna go? You record that?
It's been recorded the whole time.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, right.
Now you pair of buggers. Wow. Leave me alone. You fucking just let me sit still and let me die, will you? What's this about the old Gold Coast trip that you sort of went on tour on?
First one or? Where do we start?
Oh, fuck, there was 4 of them, I think. I think we did 4 trips up the Goldie over 2 to 3 weeks each time. So you want a story? Well, let me tell you a story. I don't know, look, I'll start by saying we played a lot of pubs in Brisbane and the Gold Coast that no longer exist anymore. The Patch, the Playroom, fantastic, you know, places of legend. I'm happy to say that we played them. But another place we played was a place called the Surfers Beer Garden on the Gold Coast. Now, the show was fantastic. We used to have an old comma van, fit all our gear in there, double bunks. It was the Ducks nuts.
It's a 1955 comma van.
Yeah, it had a Humber Super Snipe engine in it, mate. 6-cylinder power machine.
And tell them who it originally came from.
TAA.
No.
What?
Oh, Hot Tomatoes.
Tomatoes, the band. We're at the pub. We played the show. Obviously, after the pub show, everyone's really getting on it. Done. In the van, for some reason, we've got 3 licensed drivers, Wally, Rowan and Brett. Who's chosen to drive from the Gold Coast down to D-Bar? Me. Drunk as a... just drunk. Shouldn't have been driving. They shouldn't have let me drive.
We told him to drive because he didn't have a license to lose.
So
And we did.
we thought that'd be better. Cheers. Halfway down the main highway from the Goldie to D-Bar, I decide, because we were going to play the Great Northern in Byron Bay the next day. Wally, I'm driving to Byron. We're coming up to the entrance, the left turn.
I said there was the offshoot to D-Bar, or we go straight ahead on the highway heading for Byron Bay, and at the last second Keys is going, I'm going to Byron Bay, and I was like, no, we're not doing that because we're all clubbed and that, and I just smacked the thing in a neutral, and he reckons I didn't, but I reckon I veered the...
I thought it was in the reverse.
No, it was. If it was in the reverse, it wouldn't have. No, it wouldn't.
Anyway.
So I veered the truck over to the side of the road.
No,
and
we stopped in the middle of the friggin' Miami highway. Jumped out of the van, smacked the side of the van, and did a storm off, broke the little pinky knuckle, and started running back towards the Gold Coast. 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Is that true, mate? Is that true, mate? Is that true?
yes, it is.
Is that true?
Yes, it is.
And what did you do?
I was still paying him out, can't I? Chill out.
Nah, don't lie. What you did was you cracked a beer and had a fucking bunger like I'm having right now. Fucking, right, goodbye.
Hello, Scotty.
Yo, boys! Hey, boys! Good to see ya! Woo!
Welcome here, Scotty.
Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So yeah, we're going to start with you. Obviously, we've got to talking to you in the absence of you and Paddy and of the likes, and obviously Brett can't make it too because he's travelling China, and Paddy's Portugal, we believe, and you all the way down the mount. It makes it a bit hard to get in here, but anyway, so we're going to talk about you and how did you meet the boys? How did you find your way into the band after, obviously they started in about 87, and you come along, what, about 8 years later?
Yeah, I reckon, I think it was about 95 or so. I was working at the Colonnades Tavern, and I used to live with Scotty, the guitar player from Where's the Pope, and he'd gone to rehearsal one night, and he came home and he goes, "Oh, oi, you want a job? The Clams are looking for a guitar player," and yeah, let's do it. And so I went around Keith's house, I reckon, and knocked on his door, and I said, "Hey, I heard you need a guitar player," and he's like, yeah, he had no idea who I was. Like, I'd never met the guy before. And he hands me a tape and he goes, "Well, just learn these songs." And so I don't know how many songs were on there. They're quite, I feel like 30 songs. And I think I went back maybe, I don't know if it was I think it was the next day. And I said, "Well, I learned all your songs, let's do it." And yeah, that was it. And that's how it happened. So it was quick. It was just meant to be, you know. It was such a great experience. And then, you know, and once I met all the boys, I was just like, "Well, this is just so good." You know, coming from a heavy metal background, I was a little bit out of that sort of that surf punk sound. So it was a real big learning experience for me. And I didn't realize how huge and popular the scene was at the time. The scene was just pumping, absolutely pumping. And moving into that, it was just like a dream come true, because all of a sudden, going from playing these dingy Adelaide bars to moving down south and having just, you know, colour and sun and surf and it was good. Yeah, bloody oath.
You grew up
And that's how it all started.
Did you grow up surfing as well on the mid? Or?
Well, I didn't grow up surfing. I started surfing when I was about 21. So because I grew up in the northern suburbs, and I the first time I tried. The funny thing is, all right, I tried surfing after watching Point Break with Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze, and then I'm like, "Oh, that looks so cool! I'm gonna do that." And me and a few mates went down to Parsons Beach.
Oh, yeah.
I took an old twin fin out, and I stood up on my first wave and was hooked. And it wasn't long before I had moved to Victor Harbour. And then I moved back on the mid, and that's when that all sort of went down there. So and I've still surf, as much as I can. So didn't stop surfing, and that was 21. So over 30 years ago now. So boom, so it's so cool.
Awesome story. Same thing with Wally, as we were talking about before. He moved in from Morpher Vale, from the area, and we were talking about just earlier how his mum was literally a teacher at most of us guys that even know Darren's 15 or so years older than I am. All through the generations, a lot of us grew up either through Seaford Primary School or whatnot, but the surf culture of the mid, plus the rock and bands that have evolved and Wally was just saying earlier that he idolised these and just went, wow, what a band, and then you've same similar sort of story. But Darren approached him, hey man, you wanna drum for us? And he's like, oh no, I'm a bit busy. And then you've approached Darren and gone, oi, hey man, here's your tape. One day you learnt what, 30 odd, 40 odd songs. That's quite an achievement.
Yeah.
And then here you are, so been in the solid lineup ever since.
Yeah. And I remember the first time I played with Wally, and still to this day, I don't think I've ever played with a drummer like Wally. He's got a special talent to lock right in. It's a rare gift what he has, and what he brings to the band is just unbelievable.
100%. Just the focus and literally the tightness of his drumming is literally a massive part of what the Clams is.
Yeah, he's tight as he has the ability to get a segment of time and divide that time perfectly, like a freaking surgeon.
The dynamics that has changed and that you brought to the band. Obviously, it used to be just but pretty much the bass, guitar, drums, singer, band, with very minimal leads. Not putting it down to, that's definitely what started, but the dynamics of the extra licks and lead breaks and that you brought to the band would change the whole sound massively.
Yeah, it was something that I couldn't avoid with the style that I was used to playing. I think the original style, and if you listen to an album like The Path, the guitars are quite they're quite sludgy. So and my style was always a little bit more precision. So I think I brought that only because that was how I was. That's how I'd like to say how I was taught, but I taught myself. So, but that was the sort of, I came from, I didn't come from a punk background. I came from a metal background, and it was all that tight guitars, like bands like Megadeth and Slayer and all that sort of stuff were all about hard hitting tightness. And I did my best to try and sort of find a happy space between the two worlds. And I still couldn't help myself by bringing in those types of leads, because that was, and it still is. It's in my blood. It's who I am. I love to shred the gnar on the fretboard, and I'm still that inner child today that wants to just let loose and show a bit of emotion with some lead guitar playing, I guess.
100%. It's brilliant, and obviously along the years, like every band progresses from the original sound. There's never always a solid lineup. Chops and changes, but the common rule is always start as that garage band to what they sort of shoot off into, no matter whether there's a chop or change of different guitar players, basses, drummers, singers, whatever. You all managed to grow together anyway to make a bigger sound.
And I really feel that too. I felt like this is the problem with today's music. A lot of the time, we don't see this particularly well. It's around, but we don't see it's not in our face like it used to be. Where we have this individualization of stars. I say everyone that's listening to music these days listens to a particular artist. They don't listen to bands like they used to when bands used to be popular. And the cool thing about bands was that you had a group of individuals who would all bring their own personal brand to to the group, and everyone, the best found bands would, find common musical ground and build and grow from that common musical ground, and it just made amazing music. So back in the 90s and the late 80s, and that was all my sort of I drew a lot of inspiration from those times, and that's what was happening. It was bands, and I think with the Clams, when we got together, and when I joined the band, it just brought a little bit of a different dynamic, and then we all gelled to that dynamic and grew together as well, and it changed the way that people, it changed the way that what was possible. I think changed the way when we bring riffs, and Wally would bring riffs, and Brett would bring riffs to the table, and we'd all work on them, and I think that new dynamic was a fantastic part of that growth.
Yeah, well, I have to totally agree, mate. The Bitter Clams have always had a very cult following, obviously with the older lads, older generation. So all my brothers' mates era and all that stuff, Seaford Soccer Club and Port Lunga Football Club, back in that underground when it was, Rowan and all the boys. And then as I was coming up into the ranks, in the early 90s as a teenager, been able to come to see shows, that's when you obviously come along and change that dynamics for the sound of that attracted my era. And then as a few years have gone on, Paddy's also joined the band as another brilliant young guitarist, and just added another dynamic, which is attracting, kids that are my kids' age now.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Who inspired you, and sort of about your style of playing and whatnot? I was along those lines. I actually thought it would have been Yngwie Malmsteen with some of the licks that you've been ripping out. And,
we're sort of.
They're very similar.
Yeah, well, it's funny. Well, I'll tell that's not quite the full story though. But so the full story goes back a little bit, where I first. So my dad taught me a few chords. So that's where I started. I started learning from him. He used to play in a band, and he taught me a few Shadow songs and that sort of stuff. And then from there, I bought a VHS video called Teach Yourself Lead Guitar by a guy called Arlen Roth, and I started there. And then after about a year of that, that's when I went to Michelangelo Badio. So that first video taught me how to read tablature and how to get into that style of thing, so that when I came across bands and guitar players, like Malmsteen was my biggest influence for sure. So I was into him before I got the Badio video. And then there was a band called Cacophony, which had Marty Friedman and Jason Becker and those guys. So Malmsteen, Friedman, Becker, they're my biggest influences to this day.
Brilliant. Well, yeah, we've all got influences. A lot of bands and a lot of members don't even have any sort of formal training, or some people come in as uni students and brilliant straight off the bat, and some of them that just show me where it is and I'll play. You know what I mean? Obviously, going along those lines, you're too good to be taught, and that's how you landed into a teaching role down at Mount Gambier, I guess, eh?
Yeah, it is actually. I decided to teaching was something that I wanted to do, and so I was just classroom teaching. And actually, I rang up a bloke who ran this this learning centre, and I was playing footy with him at the time, and I said, "Hey, I've got this idea. I'd love to help you know, kids, maybe some troubled kids with a band program to get together and you know, after school sort of thing. And he said, well, that's a really good idea. But he goes, but actually the high school down here need a music teacher. You should just apply for that. So I did, and I got that job, and that's how I started doing music teaching. So it definitely wasn't through doing music at university. And that's what made my style so different, is that I couldn't teach the way that I was taught because I taught myself.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, that's a major thing that I'm trying to get across to a massive audience, obviously. All the new up and comings is, you know, you don't have to be shy of not being taught through music school or anything sort of that, because 90% of the bands of the world are all self-taught.
That's right. I think you know, what I like to tell people that it's sort of, you know, up and coming is that you know, if you've got something to say on guitar, then you got to say it, and you got to be out there, and you got to proudly say whatever you've got to say on the guitar. And you know, I think, you know, a guitarist like Kurt Cobain's a really good example of how that can change the landscape. The whole landscape of music changed with his style, and he was, you know, definitely not the guitar player that everyone sort of thought would do that, but he did it, and because he had something to say, and everyone wanted to hear what he had to say, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, 100%. And 100%, you boys have definitely had a lot to say over the years. You know, got some absolute classic tracks, and it's great to see that.
Yes.
It's great to see that you've managed to, you know, not only involve the band, but involve yourself over the years, and literally you're moving on to a path that's you've been there for a while now, as teaching children your tricks and whatnot, and it's all about bringing each other together. It's the foundation that we all gel with, no matter what sort of genre we're in, what sort of mood we're in, where we come from. We're happy, we're sad, we're up, we're down, we're left, we're right. Music is literally the foundation that brings us all together, and keeps us alive, I guess.
It does. I mean, you know, we're talking, you know, music could predate, well, music does predate agriculture. So there's a lot of scholars, music scholars, that believe that music is the reason that civilization exists, because that's what brought us together. Before, you know, pre-language, before we could even speak, before we could even have the language, we had music, we had rhythm, which is in the most ancient part of the brain, in the I can't even say cerebrum. I don't know. Cerebellum. That's it. Cerebellum.
Yeah, a bit of celery and peanut butter, thanks.
Cerebellum. That's it.
Cerebral.
Oh yeah.
That's all good, mate.
So yeah, that's that. Yeah. So music. I mean, we all have it. We all have our, and you know, we all have our experience with music, and all we have to do is to think about that music, and as soon as we think about it, we're transported to another place and time. You know, where that music meant something to us, or whatever it is, or when we're listening in the moment, we're blown away.
Yeah,
I love that stuff.
100%. Yeah, literally. You know, I've spent many a times in awe of watching you boys, in awe of actually managing to be on the stages alongside, you know, playing the same sort of shows with you boys. I sit at home with my missus and kids and all that sort of stuff, and same sort of thing. Like, every time I've got the tunes pumping, no matter whether I'm happy or sad, I almost transport into a different place. It's it's the fundamental of life as far as I'm concerned. But having said that, we'll do a little bit of a cut there.
Yeah, and that's what makes teaching music really hard, because you're bringing music into a space that is affecting people on a psychological level, on an emotional level, on a physical level. It's like, well, how do you manage that? How do you manage, making all these people, feel a particular way? How do you keep the energy levels in the right spot so that everyone can, I guess, be human?
All right, Scotty. Well, it's been brilliant talking to you, my man. I've put together something that may interest you. I hope you really enjoyed. But for the audience out there that may not know, Mr. Scott Maxwell here was awarded, should I say, Music Teacher of the Year. He was awarded by some big names. It's a massive, especially to be a part of the Mid-Coast band community, let alone the Adelaide community, let alone South Australia. Gone for mind blank, which is good. The more I pause, I can chop and edit it. This is probably where you get to say goodbye. Goodbye, folks, and bye-bye.
All right, you want me to start that?
Yeah. Oh, mate, I've got so much editing and all that sort of stuff. And
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for having me, Meaty. It's been so cool. Thanks for seeing you. Let me do that again. Every time you have to practice something.
Oi, it gets worse, doesn't it?
Yeah. So this will be the last one.
All right.
Thanks for having me, matey. It's been great. Good to catch up with you boys. We're going to see you soon. We're going to be playing live soon and smashing it back on the stage. So it's been great. Thanks everyone for listening. And remember, do your thing with music and get yourself out there. Let your voice be heard.
Excellent. Thank you, Scotty. Enjoy.
Scott Maxwell,
ladies and gentlemen.
I'm feeling really loved. What an amazing opportunity to have an award that celebrates music teachers.
Congratulations, Scott, on your aria. Keep up the good work.
Music education is so important because it allows our kids to express themselves, to tell their stories and understand other people's stories.
This is one of my favourite awards. I think it is so cool that we're recognising school teachers.
I'd really like to thank everyone that voted for me, all the kids at school really behind me. Thank you, Arias. Thank you, Songroom. I'm super stoked to be here. It's going to be awesome.
Woo. Thank you to all the music teachers out there.
Thank you so much for everything.
For all of your love and support.
Thanks for all your help all those years ago.
I love everything they do.
someone who needs me soon. But when I just don't know. No! No! Come on! Hollow sounds on telephones, minute holes in lounge room walls, questions asked by unknown men. Who are they? What happens to them? Ask me who they are, I say, as if I should have known. Perhaps someone who needs me soon. But when I just don't know. No!
You gonna introduce it, mate? We're gonna go all ace freely. This is called Shock Me. No, you gonna ride lightning.
This is a shocking experience.
Oh man, shocking experiences.
You can see the
was being.
You don't play drums.
What could be greased lightning?
You don't play drums.
This is a shocking experience.
We're back, but we're gonna make you watch that again because I don't know. It was fucking funny. What do you think?
So when you see my arms go like that,
He's actually getting shot.
I can't control that. That is me going, oh!
All right, we're going back to it, and then get ready for some prizes. Pat, if you're there, mate, come on. Give us a bit of a chatty chat, please. Come on, Pat. Come on, Pat. Come on, Pat.
Ready?
Oh, man.
Shocking experiences.
Well, then I said to the boss man, well, everything looks fine. But when you are now standing, maybe you can see the road line. Yeah, the heart of my fortress, running from what can you say? If there's a be a standoff, well then, hell on doors the side. What do you mean? I was being.
You don't play drums.
What could be greased lightning?
You don't play drums.
This is a shocking experience.
All right, we are back. We are back. I'm going to leave this in control for the guys while I go gather some sort of things. But we have got some major prize draws, but we've got some minimal sort of draws as well, which I'm going to leave these guys in control of. We're going to start with working to hard and fast. I've got about a dozen left of these stubby holders. Literally, whoever wants one, if you can see that screen there, boys. Next one to sort of go, oh, I want one. They get them.
Stubby holder. Come on. And then,
Brett, can you see that?
I can just see it. Green dog.
Green dog, yeah. He said deli pog, so he said
Deli pog. Oh, that's
Greenie gets
that's
two
a-
stubby
Hold
holders.
on, I'm just going to change some analytics so I can see what the
There you
see
go,
who's
buddy.
watching. Stream fucking health is saying.
Greenie gets two for that comment.
No. That's an old one.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
I can see Greenie at the Seaford Soccer Club doing his filming.
Oh yeah,
I can remember that.
Green Dog was what a champion of.
That's right. He was the.
He's holding out on some of that footage that we all.
That's right.
So no. All right, I'll get these stuff sort of worked out for you guys.
Alright, so
Keep going.
what else have we got next? Do you want you to do a t-shirt? No, it's up one of those shirts on the floor there, mate.
All right, we're going to ask some questions. What shirt's that one?
Okay, this is the Mid-Coast Beer to Clams Mid-Coast Crew Edition.
What do you want to what do you want to chuck with that, mate?
We did that as a limited edition just because we're from the Mid and the Mid-Coast Crew.
Yep.
We'll chuck a CD, a couple of CDs and a DVD with that.
Yep.
And a stubby holder.
So which one we chucking? The Clams Live?
Clams Live, double live.
And
That's shot at
DVD can go with the deck, eh?
South Adelaide Football Club back in 2012. Okay, I think. No, that doesn't sound right.
2012.
Yeah.
Was that same gig?
Same gig.
Was it that long ago?
Is it? 2012.
It was 2012. Right, we got you.
Don't tell me I don't know my dates.
Yeah, well, fucking I don't.
Not that I have any of these days.
Who? What do you mean you don't get dates?
I wanted to flare, as they say.
this is all for you. We're sitting here waiting to talk shit with you.
Quick as a light.
What's the question? Who wants it? The medium.
A question? I thought
We're not even doing that. That's the major draw. I've got.
Someone...
No, Butterfish is on.
There you go.
Butterfish.
Yeah, there you go. Daniel gets a.
No. We've got the question.
How are we giving it away?
We've got the question for that major pack.
What's the question?
All right. I'll do the question quickly for the major pack with the bit of clams, a few of these stubby holders, bloody shirt, and the deck.
That's the live DVD.
I've got one question. If the people that were watching, I mentioned when I was jamming with my mate Buzzy and Pino in the garage, and who was it who walked in that I didn't know from the Clams? First person to answer right gets the major pack.
If you hadn't left, you wouldn't know who it was.
Let's go. Waiting for answers. Waiting for answers.
I'm just going to give it to the next person
That's right.
who makes a comment. Comment again, Butterfish.
Come on, Butters. Who was it?
There we go.
Who did I
There we
mention?
go. Hey!
No. Wrong. Bloody lefty.
Bloody lefty.
Well done,
Bloody
Butterfish.
There you go.
There you go.
Cheers, mate. Woo!
Well, mate, soon as though you live so close, right, jump in your car and you'll be here in about 45 seconds to collect.
We'll drop it off. All right.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Well done.
Who won it? Bloody lefty.
Bloody lefty come in. Oh no, he's done it twice.
Yeah. Butterfish,
Yeah,
mate.
lefty's the one.
What champion? Hey, so you...
Looks like right, but it's more left.
That's right.
Well done, Butters. Sorry, Gromit, mate. You missed out.
Snooze you lose.
Snooze you lose. All right. I've got to go for a kiss because I'm absolutely dying. But
put it on to something else, so we'll just not sitting here.
no. Do you want to keep going and get rid of some more pride? Just give me 2 minutes. Right, you could go. These guys could take over. They're feeling
left of centre.
They're feeling left of centre.
We've got more CDs.
Brett.
Yes.
What would you like to give out? Some of your time, a cuddle.
Yep. Just some advice from an old timer. Here we go. Bearded Clams Live. Look at that. That's a classic little album. This one here.
Yep.
Destiny. That's one of my favourite songs. Look at that.
Bearded Clams Live.
In the,
That's a song that we often start the set off with.
Yep. Yep. SSS. That's a great song. Southern Sound Studios.
At least you put that extra S in the end.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. But, that was a famous place we used to practice, and a lot of bands used to practice down there. We even had shows down there.
Oh, that's a bloody good question, mate.
Mark Kane played.
Mark Kane.
Not Meat Beaters. Iron Sheiks.
Iron Sheiks.
Green Dog's asked, where's the vinyl?
Where's the vinyl?
Hey.
Yes, we all want to put vinyl out one day. I would sorely love to put our catalogue out on vinyl. Our first CD is a double, so it would have to be a double vinyl, or we do it as a part 1 and part 2. But yeah, that's a goal. Specifically because I love collecting vinyl, I would just love to have it in my own collection. So that's on the to-do list for sure. To put our stuff out on
vinyl. We've had a very interesting comment just pop up that the missus has put on there. I don't know how that goes on, but I don't know where are you, Frankie? Where's the Vatican? What's going on with you, mate? She asked, where's the Pope to...
where's the Pope?
I don't know.
Show. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah. This is great. Righto, Kai. We're going to make this one easy for you, mate. What do you want, the Psycho Green skateboard deck? Or what else we got?
So we can do a Psycho Green pack.
Yeah, let's do
Psycho
that. We'll do a
Green
Psycho
CD.
Green pack.
We've got an original early at-home Moana.
Before both of us
Psycho
were in there.
Green.
That's a collector's item.
That is.
Collectors. So,
and
not sure if you know, myself and Meaty actually play in the
Psycho
latest
Green too.
incarnation of Psycho Green, which is this CD called Freeway. So we'll put that in the pack.
Perfect.
Stubby holder and the 2 CDs.
All right. So what's the question?
What's the question? What colour is the Psycho Green skateboard deck?
That'll be a mystery.
You'd hate to be bloody colourblind, wouldn't you?
Have a guess.
I'm green with envy.
Oh, green!
Green dog. Hey,
and that's from Green Dog.
Green.
Greenie.
Mate, you're a bit biased with that name, aren't you, mate?
Give it to him. Green Dog gets the green deck and the CDs.
Greenie!
That's great. Someone said red.
All right, so that's going to Greenie.
Said red.
I'll drop that off in the morning, mate. Because are you going to be in my kids' car park? I haven't seen you for a while, running security. What's going on, Greenie? I'll drop it off tomorrow if that's the point, if you're still there.
He's the groundsman, isn't he?
Oh, groundskeeper Willie.
And 2 of those.
All right.
Bluefish gets the t-shirt. Do we have a long sleeve t-shirt?
Yeah.
Prizes galore.
There was fucking...
I don't know.
Nah.
I don't think you give it to me.
Is it that one there?
It might be.
Oh, there it is.
Are we getting that drunk?
Oh.
Or are you getting that drunk?
I'm not drunk.
Look at that.
I don't drink.
Wow.
Ahoy. This is the prize pack for
Fantastic.
anyone that's double XL.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this is a new line we did for our latest show at Port Noarlunga, the nice day to go to the club series.
Yep.
Put on by Daybird Records.
Fitzy.
Fitzy. Jack and the boys. So we got an arm. We had this design back in the 90s. It was red, white, and blue. So we thought we'd do it in the yellow, red, and black. Why not?
Big shout out to Kirsty Sutton.
Kirsty Sutton, yeah.
Well done, Kirsty.
Who did this design. We did a series of stickers, sort of started out as a very basic design, very similar to this, but it progressed over the years. We did various different color waves of it. I think we did 6 different color waves. So yeah, pretty stoked with the way these ones come out, with a full length arm and a front triangle.
Iconic design.
And the worst thing about that one is I've had it here for about a month.
I don't think you even have to be 4XL if you just want to hang it on your wall.
Yeah.
Well, there's only one person that I can still remember that's 4XL, and I know he's in bed right now, Gromit.
What does that say? Yes, I will be there.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Oh, to pick up the shirt. Well, maybe we'll leave that one hanging for maybe a next time giveaway, a pack of all bands once you've had a few bands on, mate.
That might be the ultimate, because that's the limited edition. Or you can give it away, but it only seems to be...
Yeah. Can't give it all to Green Dog.
I have closed this off to people that have been subscribed to the channel.
Maybe people that are watching can't comment, some of them.
Because they're not subscribed!
Okay, click subscribe. You're going to have...
And you've got to be minimum subscribed for how long? It should say on my bloody thing over here.
At least a minute.
Yeah, pretty much. I set it to 10 minutes or something like that. Like something easy.
80 viewers watching. That's classic, mate.
Well done.
You.
Well, everyone's been tuned in for at least
1 hour, 727 minutes.
Not bad for a first episode, Needy.
Yeah.
Can't leave us hanging here, mate. You have to put something on.
Alright. Let's put something on while I go organise the final thing. And then do the final breakout where I'm going to say thank you to everyone. Yeah. Oi. Big go. Big go. What can we break into?
Alright, welcome back. You can hear us now. Alright, so this is the time of night, and I can't even see the camera. This is where I get to thank everyone for everyone's time, and literally this whole show wouldn't have begun if I didn't get to meet any of these guys. And the time and patience that everyone has had while I've tried to get this going. I've had a lot of trip ups, because everyone that knows me knows that I'm an arrogant fucking prick, and I will not take classes to learn fucking all these very important things. So it has put me behind, but mate, this is all about working with everyone.
You've done a fantastic job, mate.
Totally free. I just want Adelaide's music to get out there. I want everyone to be heard. I want everyone for a chance to get a taste of music of what it did for me. And I want literally just to give to the community. And every band that jumps on board, you know, we're all givers. Most of us aren't takers, some minus a few. I'm about to bend over to Darren in a sec. Yeah, so literally, the more that you guys can get subscribes out there, we can get some calls, right? It costs you nothing. It's easy to do. Subscribe. I haven't worked out that button yet.
Well, that's what I see him do. Hit the
I've got one of these things that are meant to be fucking amazing. They turn out to be amazing, and if you can get them right, and even the best of the computer people, give them away to people like me for $100 when they're about 500, and go, yeah, go for go. Didn't work too well. But I'll get there, and you what? Anyway, thank you to everyone. Thank you to my lovely cousins, by the way. Liz and Cassie, Juxtaposed Wines. We got a bottle here.
There's one cigarette.
Anyone would like a clean skin for hard and fast, if you can see that right there. Kate's going to ask you a question. What wines was it made from, and who was it for?
Am I asking that question?
There you go.
What wine was it made from?
Yeah, who was the winemaker?
Oh.
Do you ever remember?
Expose?
Just exposed.
Just exposed.
No, it was. Come on. Who was it for?
For me.
Well, Darren's going to take the clean skin over. Oh, great show, guys. All right, you know what? Dave Aussie Daystar, is that you, mate? You can have a clean skin just because your name was up there and I can't read it. So, welcome to Hard and Fast.
One bottle of red.
Beautiful trousers. Nah, that's a clean skin, so I can't tell you. But it's probably got a Nash knowing them guys because they're beautiful wines.
It's very red.
What?
Hey, this is every day
Might be a duck.
in my house, you know. Oi, Kate, can you go to our Woolies? Then she goes to Carl's.
There's white ones and red ones.
Hold on.
Oh, see, I was right. I want white.
Now, let's do something right for once, and get us all in. Hello.
There we go.
I could have done this. Hey, Tiny.
Could have done that.
But apparently, like the first show, when it started taking over, it's listening and not taking over.
Is it now?
I don't know. It's probably recording this and sending it to. Where do you reckon?
China.
What's that comment?
Actually, speaking of which, Paddy, are you there, mate? I'm gonna go.
Paddy, what is it?
Where are you, Paddy? We're waiting on this call for you. But while we're here, Instead of a clean skin, where's that other bottle, Darren?
That white one?
Not sure.
Not that one. There was another.
Up there? Huh?
Yeah, that one there. We've got a juxtapose.
That's what I meant to say.
That's what I thought.
So obviously, my cousin and her wicked partner, Dr. Les, Dr. Wes. Beautiful winery. I hate wine, to be honest, and I have not literally had a bad one. They know that Wes knows his shit. So we've got a 2022 bottle of juxtaposed Shiraz, which we'll also be giving if you're interested for you winos. Wes and Cassie have offered a bit of a bulk deal. If you go online, we'll sort out a discount code. And yeah, so anyway, anyone who likes a bit of a Shiraz and wants to try one hell of a beautiful bottle, who makes it? Answer. Yeah. Let's go. I don't even care about the name. Hey! Oh, did you want that? You already got one, you greedy bastard. Come on, next person that answers. So that's that's poodle. I thought it was Aussie Daystar. Butterfish.
Oh.
Green dog. No thanks.
Thanks.
I had it. Yeah.
Too much red when he's young.
Goon bags.
Oh, goon bags.
I think that's why Brett doesn't actually drink anymore.
No, I just have a couple of quiet beers for a start. That's about it. My drinking days were way away. Finished. So,
yeah.
I actually never even seen you. The amount of times I've seen you on stage and all that sort of stuff, never even seen you have a little quick beer.
I have Brett's share.
Cup of tea and a biscuit.
You have Brett's share.
Cup of tea and a biscuit. Yeah, where's the tea bags?
We all know about that, don't we, boys? All right, any red wine drinkers want to get on juxtaposed? Well, you don't know what you're missing out on. Next fucking person to
5,
4, 3, 2.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, missed out. Anyway, next week, Juxtapose is going to be drawn.
Who's up next week?
It's actually not going to be next week. Yeah. You sniffing my ball back? No. Alright, so Friday night, guys, I will be premiering the next band that I've pre-recorded. So Friday night, Sunday night will be the next two bands that I've pre-recorded, and then from then on, there's none of this pre-recorded bullshit. We're straight into live and raw every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Then it's going to be put to the test, which is awesome. But thanks everyone for watching. Anyone want to say goodbye? Bye.
Thanks, matey. Work, matey. Thank you for inviting me down here.
Make sure to press that subscribe button. Share, like.
And with a number of...
Tell your bloody mum.
Don't forget your bloody mother. For the viewers that we've got there, and only three fucking people sort of, commenting, which means you're all
Maybe they don't like
peanuts.
Well, that might not be on a computer. Watching on the telly, you can't.
You're true. Yeah, true.
How do you get your
Yeah,
body
true.
figures on
All right. Well, fuck it. Next time I'll leave a little I don't know, a phone line open or something like that. that could get dangerous.
There's Aaron's phone number.
All right. Well, I'm going to quickly try and bring up at least one more tune for these guys to say Salada Biscuits with. A bit of footage. I might pull something from.
Are you done, Howie? Are we done, Howie?
Yeah, we did Howie. Jesus.
And Zapped. That's a classic one.
We did Zapped. We did Howie. All right, I'm going to pull something from the Clams DVD that I was meant to edit into single tracks, but you know what? We'll pull something out of you.
For lads.
Yeah.
I know, you guys just chat for a sec while I do this.
Yeah, I'm chatting. What are we chatting?
I don't know.
And this is Chatting with Charlie.
Okay.
What did you think of the show, mate?
I think it was actually pretty good.
What was the highlight?
I don't know. Probably Wally. Wally getting zapped by the tendon machine.
Because he didn't think it was zapping.
No.
I would have liked to have found out if I had it on my face whether it would have made a difference.
We can try it.
Oh.
I was singing.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Looked like you had a stroke, maybe.
So when my arms are going like that, I couldn't control that. Okay. I could still sing, but I was just going. That was literally my muscles contracting. It was pretty full on.
It was a good night.
Yeah.
There you go.
It was a good night.
It was.
It's like 20 minutes worth of
Hopefully.
sort of things.
Is that a good night from me and a good night from him?
And a good fright from au revoir. Well, thanks for watching, people. We're going
This is a shocking experience.
Oh, man. Shocking experiences.
Well, then I said to the boss man, well, everything looks fine. But when you are now standing, maybe you can see the road line. Yeah, the heart of my fortress, running from what can you say? If there's a be a standoff, well then, hell on does the sign. What do you mean? I was being.
Don't play.
What could be greased lightning?